This is Michaela doing video 2 on limits. So the first problem, we're looking at a one-sided limit. I kind of already worked all these out so I could actually talk without trying to write at the same time. So the limit of x squared minus 3x minus 8 all over x minus 4. And we're looking for the limit as x approaches 4 from the left side. So you can see I crossed this all out at first because I thought this was a make a table situation, and I was wrong. So then I next tried to sub 4 directly into the equation, which is not going to work because then you end up dividing by 0. So my last resort was to graph the function, which I did kind of over here, and also my graphing calculator. And I was able to tell by zooming in a lot that coming from the left towards 4, the limit is negative infinity as the function goes down. So there is my answer there. The limit as x approaches 4 from the left is negative infinity. Looking at number 2, the limit of 3x to the 5th minus 5x minus 1 all over 9x squared plus 1 as x approaches negative infinity. So to solve this, I took the rule that we learned about recently, that if the degree of the denominator is smaller than the degree of the numerator, the limits are infinite and must be evaluated through sign analysis with the leading terms. So since we're just looking at the limit towards negative infinity, I only plugged in a hypothetical really big number here and a really big negative number here and a really big negative number here, which would yield 2 negatives divided by each other. So that means that the limit as x approaches negative infinity is also negative infinity. And then looking at the third one, x squared minus 25 all over x minus 5 as the limit as x approaches 5. Of course, at first I tried to just substitute 5 in where x was, but I got 0 over 0, so I couldn't do direct substitution. And then I remembered I have to factor the top equation. So that would be x minus 5 times x plus 5 over x minus 5, which let me cancel out the x minus 5s and left me just with x plus 5, which is 5 plus 5, that parenthesis in there, which equals 10. So with this general limit is your limits as your kind of the conglomeration of your limits from coming from the right and coming from the left. And I just always have to remember that I have to factor and then cancel and then substitute and solve. I can't just go right into the equation with a lot of polynomials. And then our last one, infinite limits. The limit of x squared minus 4x plus 3 all over x squared minus 1 as x approaches infinity. I took rule number 2 that we learned for finding the limits of polynomials that are rational. If the degree of the numerator equals the degree of the denominator, we can just take the leading coefficients of the denominator and the numerator divided by each other. In this case, since it's just x, it's just like imagining a little 1 right there. So that would lead me to 1 divided by 1 equals 1. So the limit as x approaches infinity equals 1. And I also kind of graphed it here just so it made more sense to me. So the limit from both sides is coming towards y equals 1. Yes. So there we go. I think that's just about it for everything. I really did like doing this before the web that we have to do like you told us, because now I kind of get what I need to do for the web more. So, all right, thank you.